Hey,
Yo,
yo,
yo.
yo. Welcome in. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for joining us on what, traditionally would be a light Wednesday, but we have hockey and NBA playoffs going on at the same time. So kind of a tasty morsel there. And also, of course, the Dodgers return to Houston for the first time. Only a 2-game set, as they say. On the road. So the real jewel is going to be in August when they come down to. Oh man, it's going
to a full capacity Dodger Stadium.
I am beside myself. Just imagine.
Although I'll say this, Dodger crowd turned out on the road yesterday. Surprisingly,
they did. The Pantone crew came through pretty strong. They had locked down an entire section. With a march to the field through the streets of Houston up to the stadium, which I definitely appreciated. But
sure.
I pray for peace, but also I pray for outrageousness when they do actually come to Dodger Stadium, because it's gonna be so hype. But thank you for joining us on this Wednesday. Tyler, how are you doing this evening?
Man, I'm doing good. It's like you said, normally it's a light Wednesday, but lot of action here. Like you said, playoffs going on, baseball rolling on. Some big news in the golf world today. We will be getting into that shortly here. But man, been a pretty fun, surprisingly fun Wednesday. Ronnie, how you doing today?
Doing good. This is kind of the first day that I actually had to do any kind of job functions associated with the new gig.
Actual work.
Yeah, so that was cool. And, still sort of like putting my feelers out there, like, just baby steps, but fun throughout the day. And I just realized, like, you could see the loyal poster. Nick, we will bring you on soon. I did want to have this, like, within, eye shot, I guess, whatever you would say, but...
so you can grab it and tear it real quickly?
It's the only one I got. I can't tear it, but soon, maybe someday soon. But yes, very exciting. And right off the bat, I'm going to apologize because also golf. Look, I know you guys are weirdly dickish about your copyright, NBC and PGA, and when it comes to golf, but Premier League got it first, and you're also Premier League. Like, I mean, NBC. So I don't know why golf is so harsh on the copyright thing. But yes, I did play the now classic Brooks Koepka, getting completely flustered, mind blown by just apparently by the mere presence of Bryson DeChambeau. As far as we know, we're efforting on the situation. I got sources on site, but. Yes, it did get taken down overnight off Facebook and YouTube. So I will ask myself, deservedly so. I didn't have enough time to frame that in the tweet. But, I texted Tyler and friend of the program, Justin, after that happened. I was like, dude, why is golf, like, of all the sports, like, the most, like, NFL, I get it. Like, you're charging people. Like, people pay money for this. You could probably even do, like, pay-per-view on some of these games. Just, like, if you wanted to. Because people will watch it and gamble on it and et cetera, et cetera. And
that's
golf
essentially what
is
the Amazon deal is.
Golf, for some reason, and the PGA is so hard-ass. Like, anything that even approaches their copyright, they will take it down. And I'm just like, dude, wouldn't you want to have more of, like, a social media presence? Anything interesting that happens in golf, like this, like a personal beef, like a potential soap opera right now that we're looking at, and you just take it down. But you know what? I apologize. I asked myself. It makes no sense to me.
How dare you infringe on the tradition of golf being an old white man's game? How dare you, sir?
I'm sorry.
We can't be having any of these youthful forms of technology to spread the game and possibly embiggen the fan base. Can't be having that.
Who would want to talk about this on social media? Well, no one.
No.
Obviously, no. We keep that locked down. Bully. Yes.
But that's our impression of the head of golf. Whoever Chester T. Golferson, the head of golf.
And he is a stalwart. I mean, we know.
He is.
Don't come at him sideways because, Chester T. Golferson, he'll say something. If he sees something, he might just say something in the hallway. So I respect that, but just kind of confusing. And I apologize again to anyone that could not see this after the fact on Facebook or YouTube. But now that I'm in the more safely copyrighted zone, this meme came across yesterday, and now it's blown up, and I love it. The Clovis Crusher, God, he owns Brooks so hard. And Brooks, you got second. You got second. And my thing is, too, like, every single weekend, you're just as, if not more, capable than this guy. Like, we love DeChambeau on this program. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But he's really all about the science of, like, how can I hit it further than any human that's ever existed? Like, he is very much into that. So, and it very rarely goes right for him. So, just the fact that, I mean, the picture says it all. But
it's amazing. It's amazing.
Obviously, technically edited. But this just gives off the feeling that it just seems like Brooks can't get over this guy for some reason. Like, dude, you're probably better than him right now every weekend. And then every little thing he does bothers you so much. Like, and I've, seen in a couple other group chats, like, yeah, but, Bryson's a douche, though. Like, he's, like, cool. I'm like, all right, yes, Bryson is definitely more of a douche. But Brooks is obviously very mentally soft. And, like, that's equally unappealing. Like, especially in golf. It's one man versus the course. You control your own destiny out there. Who cares what another person does? And the fact that he is so up in this guy's head, it's just like, wow, I can't believe that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Look, it is very clear that the Turlock Terror, the Modesto Mangler, the Clovis Crusher, the Lodi Lummox, whatever you want to call him, Bryson is in Brooks's head. Just his mere existence, just puts Brooks
him
on
being
tilt.
there bothers him. Like, if he's in the same zip code, it obviously causes Brooks massive internal, like, turmoil, like, mental.
And you're right. It shouldn't, because, I think if you just look at their overall game, Brooks is absolutely the better golfer. I mean, like, the whole reason why we're such a big fan of DeChambeau is just because he's purely there to hit bombs, and he makes it known. Like, I'm just here to freaking bash the shit out of the ball. I don't really care about anything else. That's why people love John Daly, because he hit the hell out of the ball. So yeah, it is just weird when just, like, you see this like really, really, really talented golfer just gets so angered just by one man merely existing.
Well, today, and again, I apologize for my obviously a flagrant copyright violation. Thank you, golf.
How dare you? How dare you?
Don't stick to that line. It's definitely working. Don't have any young people, social media people, want to be involved with your sport. That's good.
Can't have young people in the game.
Now that we are looking at the new match lineup, so a couple parts of this. So Tom Brady already going in at Rogers. 2 champions versus a scientist and a Jeopardy host. So that's already a shot. That's already right there off jump. Like, dang, dude. Brady is just smelling his own piss. Like, obviously he's the GOAT. He can say whatever he wants. But
Sure.
him, and maybe Capital One or TNT was like, yeah, go in, stir this up a little bit. Who knows? But that just made me laugh. And then in the official Brooks Koepka Twitter feed, he tries to take a shot at, Bryson. Hey, sorry. Like, you got to play with this guy, this freaking bum, this lug of a man.
This
And then
lummox.
Bryson just comes right back in with what we already knew. It's nice to be living rent-free in your head. And at one point during the day, also, I will say the third comment there was above
Phil.
Bryson's. I feel like I'm in the middle of something and I should step aside, but they want to talk to the current PGA champion. Two times.
Yeah. Phil out here cutting a promo on him.
Phil cannot resist. And I love empowered Phil. I mean, Phil already by himself is entertaining, especially old Phil. But the fact that he interjected himself into this, like, ongoing and may it never stop beef. Just like, yeah, I'm just going to tweet from my official account. Maybe I shouldn't be here, but, they want to talk to the champ.
Hey, Phil, you want to get on this golf match?
The answer is yes, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, Phil came in like total Ric Flair, just like, I don't need to be here, but I know I'm going to get like 45,000 likes if I just post something on here. Oh, my bad, guys. I'll step to the back.
I'm just jumping in here to announce that I will never retire.
Never retire. And then I saw one of the comments on that, this entire thread, which was wildly entertaining. Please do check it out. But, of course, somebody posted this content, which is Phil pouring a bottle of champagne right down Spieth's mouth. I believe in a Ryder Cup situation. Yes, I am there for all of it. I'm there for all and every single second of this. And wow, if they get paired up in the Ryder Cup, I cannot even believe how magical that could possibly be.
That's not the Ryder Cup. That's when they got paired at the same time at the first hole at Augusta. Fool, that's the pre-round shot right there.
You trying to rage? Hell yeah!
Yeah, I will say this announcement. When the first match came out, I wasn't like that into it. This one, I'm kind of more into. I think that Phil and Bryson are going to be pretty entertaining. This again, if nothing else, two dudes that just go out and love to hit bombs. Brady, like you said, he's definitely in his later. I think he's always been a little bit of a shit talker. In his later years, he's more like public and open about it. So I think this could be pretty entertaining.
Well, and I think I'd have to say, just based on the very limited, knowledge that I have of these two guys' golf careers, I would say Rogers is probably better at golf. But then when we saw the previous match, of course, Brady like holes out from 125 yards, just like Brady just doing Brady things. Like, of course he would. Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he do that? Like, if love him or hate him, like he's just going to do that just to spite everyone. So, yeah. And, Mickelson standing with him in the rain, talking him through these shots, that was also wildly, wildly entertaining. But everyone's going to be mic'd up, which is great. I'm sure Barkley's going to be on the call. My only wish is that, please, just at some point have Brooks like call in or zoom in just to make his comments. Like, it's not for the money's for charity. It's not like a major or anything like that. So it's a little bit more of an open format. And I think TNT is really, really, really missing it if they don't do everything they can to have Brooks call in at some point and speak on DeChambeau's round.
I actually love that idea, Jaime.
So yes,
Yeah,
there
no,
you have a scientist and
yeah.
a Jeopardy host versus Phil and Tom Brady.
Yeah, look, I love your idea of just somehow getting Brooks in on the commentary on this one. Just to hear what he says here, watch like DeChambeau hit a bomb like falling just short of the green and hearing what Brooks has to say about it. That would be entertaining.
Yes, I cannot wait. And TNT, you know what you have to do. Please make this happen. For
Bro,
the
they
love
know
of
drama.
God.
They know
TNT
drama.
knows drama. Stay tuned for the 8th season of whatever that show is with I don't know. They know,
Yeah, I don't even know actually.
all I know is they know drama. That's all I'm saying. But as we move on from that, tonight and last night, the Dodgers did make their triumphant return to Houston in front of actual fans. And, it's credit to the Pantone crowd for sliding in there, taking over the section. Dodgers took care of business last night.
Not
Tonight,
so much
not
tonight.
so much. Not so much tonight.
No,
But, I had it out a little bit with this guy, Ben. And it's just Astros apologist guy. Like, it's tired. Like, we can just leave it alone. Even if you don't root for either of these teams, we know what happened. Like, it's out there. It's proven. Like, multiple players spoke on it because they knew they weren't going to get in trouble. So I did appreciate this hate map, though. Most hated MLB teams by state. Which, again, would the Astros ever really be that much on this map if it wasn't for what we all definitely know, confirmed, did happen? And, Dodgers, yes, one of the bigger brands in sports. There's a couple other things I want to talk about in this map, but if Hawaii hates you, I mean, come on. Like, Hawaii doesn't hate anything. They want to be their own country. So that really says it all. And, everyone in the Pac Northwest in Oregon and Washington, they're probably like blazed out of their minds. They don't care. But even they hate you guys. So what are we looking at right here? Yes, Oklahoma obviously are going to hate the best team in Texas. All right, fine. No problem. But, again, I think the most damning thing is that Hawaii, their most hated team is the Astros. So don't come at me.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Just the more I've thought about it, it's like, like you said, it's for apologists to come out. It's like the Astros admitted to cheating. Like, they admitted to cheating. There's no denying it. There's no like rumor conjecture. They admitted it. Like, I have no beef with, like, I can actually sympathize with an Astros fan that's like, look, I know they cheated, but this team is just more than that 2017 scale to me. You know what? I can appreciate that. I can respect that. Like, I can understand people still being fans of the team, beyond this, because a team is often more than just one season. But the people that are out there just still like denying it or like you said, apologists, it's just like, dude, get past that already. Like, come on, man. Like, you
just gotta let it go. I mean, the current team is good. Like,
they are absolutely good.
Why are you sticking up for like defending what we all know did happen again? Like, and trying to like fall on the sword here. Like, look, it was a bad look. Just accept it, take the L, move on. You still have a good team, and just live in the now. But a couple other things that made me laugh was the Mets being so hated on the Eastern Seaboard. I don't know why. I have no idea why. I mean,
so
yes,
Georgia,
I get that.
Pennsylvania, I can understand why, because you've still got like like Pennsylvania doesn't have an AL team, so of course they're going to hate the AL New York or the NL New York team. I can understand that one.
The Cardinals being the most hated team in Missouri, almost. I mean, well, the Cubs, but like they're just destroyed in that entire region. That is also kind of shocking to me. Cardinals, I mean, let's just look at history here. Way more successful than the Cubs. I mean, yes, the Cubs brand does travel, but kind of an eye-opener there. And then you see, yes, the Yankees being hated all the way up way up to Maine. All right, that's New England, basically. But, all right, checks out. I just don't get the hate for the Mets in North and South Carolina and Tennessee. That really, I don't know. I don't know where I land on that. I don't know how to digest that.
There's a little part of me that is surprised that the Giants are the most hated in Nevada. I mean, Dodgers country does extend, relatively far, but there's also like North Nevada is essentially Northern California. So it's a little bit surprising to me that the Giants would be the most hated team in there.
Yeah, Nevada was kind of a question mark as well, just because you have to pencil in the Dodgers there, right? Like, it's closer to Giants country. So, yeah. I mean, you would think and look how the Dodgers have locked down the entire rest of before the Mountain Time Zone. Colorado, New Mexico, they all hate it.
Perfect sense.
Yeah. Wyoming, they hate the Dodgers, but Nevada for some reason. Shout out Nevada.
The Dodger hate in SEC country is a little bit weird to me, but it's fine.
Don't come down here with your big city team and your money.
It's what, Louisiana, Alabama, and Mississippi? I think Dodger haters there.
Yeah, for some reason, yes. But, something, just, keep an eye on it. We do have to dedicate some time to the NBA here, and I do want to bring on to the program the CEO of the program on the, you know what, I'm just going to say San Diego Loyal here to play ? Celebrity Hotline. We do have CEO Nick and fellow season ticket mini pack holder with myself, Nick, joining the program. Nick, how are you this evening?
I am amazing. Yes, we are now, a few days away from our first home match. Can't wait. Hopefully break this horrible streak or worst case riot. How are you guys today?
There will be blood. In some form or fashion, there will be blood.
Can't be losing to the Las Vegas Lights.
I'm just going to take this out. Take this out of my view. Yes, it was free, and yes, I will not burn it in effigy, but God, Landon, please. But while we have you here, I wanted to bring you in as it specifically pertains to the NBA. We're looking at the NBA East standings. Trae Young, look, I mean, credit where credit is due. He went in and roasted you guys.
But after today and a certain streaming station, a certain streaming network who does live sports kind of gave me a whole delay because I called Tyler and I was like, he just sees me reacting. I was like, oh, shit, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, what are you watching? I was like, the Knicks game. He was like, bro, that game's over. I was like, no. I was like, no. And I was like, who won? He's like,
I could see his reactions when I was watching the game. Like, the players were leaving the court, and he was screaming about defense. I was like, what timestamp are you at?
No!
What timestamp are you at? He's like, there's like five minutes and 40 seconds left. I was like, bro, the game's over. What are you talking about?
I was like, oh, damn. Well, the certain streaming service that provides live sports.
Allegedly.
Yeah, they're
live-ish. Live-ish.
Yeah,
next to live. Next to live.
Curve there, kind of way behind the curve. But yes, now it's officially tied up 1-1. This series, I kind of like it. It's two young teams, not too much playoff experience, so it's kind of like sit back, watch it. It was great to see that the Garden was actually packed. I was like, oh, it's probably like 2,500 fans, and I do a wide angle shot. I was like, holy crap! Like the Garden is packed, and then COVID happens again. But hopefully not. Hopefully not. Oh, Jesus, that does not look safe. But
no, even what's his name, De Blasio went in
on
Trae Young, which I did appreciate. it's like New York is back. If the actual like elected officials here are now more invested in sports games, roasting the other team, all right,
Yeah.
New York is back. We're good.
They're more invested in that than fixing up the city streets.
Look, it's a long job. It's a long road back. All right.
Yeah.
Get off its back.
Right.
Yeah. But all right, yeah, watching that was good. I'm more on here just to kind of like really just shit on the Clippers. Like, Jesus,
Absolutely.
what is going on? What is going on? I mean, granted, like what Monday or last week we're like, yeah, this is probably gonna be the Maverick series, but after going out 0-2, and I believe in LA, I was like, yeah, this is
At home. Yes.
Yeah.
0-2 after your homestand.
like this is not looking good. Like Luka looks unstoppable at this point. Like damn near triple double. What killed me was Kawhi had 41 points, Paul George 20, and I don't really know like who to blame for. Like, is it on Paul George? Is it just on the coaching? But at some point,
Ty Lue.
it was on who? Oh,
Tyronn Lue. 100%.
Ty Lue, yeah.
Oh, it's a Tyler. I was like, wait, what? Damn. I was like,
Yeah, blame me. It's my fault.
I would never say that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
you
just
would.
saying, you have playoff Rondo in your back pocket. And apparently he was upset walking off the court, which, as is tradition.
When is he not? Yeah.
Playoff Rondo. Just listen to what he says. Look, this
He's a
guy
real-
is the most hateful, salty character that you would love to have on your team when the playoffs come around. Like, someone has to be there to just, like, check these guys. It worked with the Lakers last year in the bubble. Clippers, if they don't want to take it, that's their own fault. They already ducked the Lakers, like, by tanking the last two games to not play the Lakers. And my whole thing was, like, probably should have just played them right now.
So, I mean, looking at that, I was just like, okay, like Stephen A. Smith was trying to say, is it on Kawhi? Is it on Paul George? And I'm like, all right, I know the Clippers have a lot to prove, but Paul George, like, you had a few mismatches. I think I counted about 7 mismatches where you had Porzingis on you. And as a small defender with handle, you want that. You want to take the taller defender on the perimeter off the dribble, but settle for jump shots. I was like, what are you doing? And you wonder why people say like you suck or you can't. You're not that playoff P. I was like, what are you doing? It's just, and there was no answer for Luka. I was like, Jesus, you guys are hot garbage. Go somewhere else. Move to Tijuana. Move to Letterkenny. Go somewhere else with this crap.
My entire thing was like, dude, Luka is the guy that will kill you. So whatever you have to do, just tackle this fool. Like
kick him in the dick.
Go deep bench guys
80,
and just
80
like
strategy, man. Yep.
Yeah.
Just immediately go out there and fight him. Take the flagrant, get out of the game, but just take the piss out of this guy a little bit. And he gets 40 on you again, and not to mention like I think 8 rebounds, 8 assists on top of that. Like,
yeah.
Hardaway Jr., shout out, Michigan man.
Former Nick.
Getting the former Nick as well. 29 or 28 points in that game. I mean, he was hitting the open shots, which, again, it's kind of like the Lakers' problem. Like, guys that should now be counted on to just hit the spot-up shot when the ball comes to you and it's open, because it will be open. Just make the shot. They're not doing it. But Hardaway took care of that. But it's one guy. Like, obviously, there's one guy that you cannot let just go off on you, and it's Luka. And he's gone off on you twice. So I don't know what that says about the Clippers, other than they're just the Clippers. Like I said, Clippers stay the Clippers.
Yeah, you're right. Like I think they're just gonna have to. They're just gonna have to be that dirty team. Just play Luka as hard as you possibly can. Like, yeah, commit some fouls, get some flagrants. I mean, you can't, like you said, you just can't let him go off. Like, look, he's gonna get 20, whatever. He's just that talented. He'll get 20 sleeping, but you can't let him go off and get 40 every night. You gotta do something to help him.
Like yes, I totally agree. Like, you have to take this guy out of the game. And for the Mavericks and their offense, the way they run it, it's like he has the ball all the time. He turns the ball over a lot. But like, so it's not like you totally have to just like kill this guy. You just have to make it really hard for him. Make someone else, anyone else. Like, I love Porzingis. Hardaway had a great game in that second game. But if you take Luka out, if you really like, all right, all we're going to do is lock this guy down, like make his night really hard. I feel like that's an easy recipe. Like, I don't see why that's so complicated for the Clippers to do that.
It's like you said, it's the Clippers. Like, would you expect anything more at this point? Now, I'm calling pot like right now a clean sweep. Just from what I've seen, like Kawhi, like you're getting paid the big bucks. You're like you kind of have that crown now for the Clippers to kind of get them over the hump. Like I can't put the blame on him because he did his thing. He dropped 41 points. Like he's
the thing with Kawhi is though, also he's already just like a very low key guy, hard to read. He can leave. Like he can leave after this season.
Yes.
So can Paul George. They can both leave.
Yeah, exactly. So they mortgaged their whole team to get Paul George and Kawhi for this like little window of 2 years, and lo and behold, come to find out, they're still the Clippers. So if I was at least Kawhi, I'd be like, I ain't sticking around with these bums. Like, why would I do that? I'd rather go to some other team, any other team, like, and all, like maybe go back to the Spurs, like keep Popovich from retiring. But literally anything looks better long-term outlook than just being associated at all with the Clippers, because it's just Clipper things that just happen all the time, over and over and over, and like constantly. Like it's a life of pain as a Clipper fan or team member.
Yeah, it was brutal. It's like watching them. Like it's one guy. Like you said, just
it's a one-man team. Like the Mavericks are not ready. Like honestly, the fact that they're a 5 seed is almost a miracle in and of itself. They, with the roster they have, they should not even be that high. So yes, Luka is like transcendent talent, but we all know, like coming into that game, we just have to take this guy out. Like
kill him.
Keep him to 20 points. You know, he's gonna get his rebounds, he's gonna get his assists, he's gonna have the ball all the time. So like aggregate wise, he is gonna get the stats. But like the last thing you could do is just let him go off for 40. When you're acting like we're the new team in LA, we're a championship contender. I'm like, no, dude. Well, it seems like you're still really just the Clippers. Like you're just doing Clipper things.
Yep.
Now, question I wanted to ask you guys: do you still like going down to the 2 versus 7 matchup? Do you still hold the Lakers as the heavy favorite? Granted, yes, I know they tied. LeBron's still undefeated after losing a game 1 in a playoff series. So I think he's 6-0. It's been some time since he lost like back-to-back games in the first round. Do you still hold him as a favorite to get past the Suns?
I'm saying no at this point. I mean, they dominated the first 2.5 quarters of that game yesterday, and it still came down to like the last 2 minutes of the game. Yes, there is something to be said for they have not had all their guys playing at the same time for many months now. But that's why I just say, again, Clippers, it wasn't worth it tanking yourself out of those last 2 games. Like, just play the Lakers now. Like, they have not figured out how to play together. They're still trying to work out, like, all right, now that we have everyone, we haven't had it all season. Like, this is the time to get them. And honestly, the Suns gave them everything they had. Give me all you got. Give me all you got.
Give me all you got.
The Suns took them to the wire last night, and I would not be surprised if the Suns go into LA and beat them in that third game. I mean, the Suns look great right now. Ayton is a huge problem for them. Obviously, Booker, and then the other guy that I can't even think of his name, the shooting guard, he had a huge night last night. So the Lakers, like, this is the time to get them, because if they do, let's just say hypothetically, they start rolling, like, all right, LeBron and AD are back. It seems like they're healthy. Schroeder figures out where to fit in. guys figure out how to hit these open shots that they're going to be getting now.
You talking about Cameron Payne, by the way?
Payne, yes. Payne had an unbelievable game. I mean,
C
man,
Payne?
yeah, Payne. He had an absolute dagger in the fourth quarter. I was like, that's cold-blooded. Like, his feet were not even set. He was, like, facing away from the basket. But he was just like, I can't feel my face hot. Like, just in your face, boom, in. And, you know, they had the crowd going crazy and everything like that. But honestly, I think the Lakers are only dangerous if they get out of this series. And I'm not still convinced that they can, because I think Phoenix is right there up for it all the way. If they do survive that series and start to kind of round into form of like, all right, well, this is the Lakers. They do have LeBron. They do have AD, whatever. Then, you know, they do become that team that's like, well, they could be a 2 seed, like if everyone wasn't hurt. I'm not convinced that they're that yet, but, you know, it's more of like a growing pains thing. So Clippers, man, you should have just got them right now. This was the time. This was the time to get them. And God forbid if they really get on a roll.
Yeah. Tyler, what are your thoughts on it?
Well, in my mind, I still think the Lakers win. I said Lakers in 6. Was that last Friday when we were kind of talking about it? I still feel that way, that the Lakers will win, although now I'm kind of thinking like it might be 7. Yeah, I mean, look, it definitely helps when the Lakers got AD out there doing the whole, Bobby Hill, that's my purse, I don't know you. I can't even call it a defense, because he did it when he was shooting the ball.
Yeah.
So it's not
He has
really a
long
defense.
legs. It's not his fault. He can't control it. He's gangly.
It's a zoning strategy, is what I call it, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, yes, exactly. He creates space out there. He's a space interpreter, like Moeller.
Gotta get that separation.
But yeah, I mean, like I'm kind of more thinking about like this might go 7. Like Ronnie said earlier, it was at one point in time. I think it was even during the fourth quarter. Another buddy of mine, Daniel, texted me, and he was like, "Dude, I'm stressed about this game," and like. I was typing to him like, why are you stressed? The Lakers are dominating, and I looked up and it was like, oh wait, no, they're actually only up by 2 right now. Like, it felt like the Lakers should have put that game away so early, and they didn't. So yeah, I mean, look, the Suns team is for real.
The Suns made them work for every inch of that outcome.
Yeah,
and that's the scary thing, because the ancillary guys, Caldwell Pope, Kuzma, like,
your boy.
I don't even have a job at this point, but like. You are going to be getting so many open shots right now. Like, you need to make those shots, because if like the Suns are younger and, let's just be honest, more hungry to like prove, like coming into this before they even played a single game, everyone's like, oh, the Lakers they got a sweetheart matchup here with the Suns, like winning that play-in. I'm like, I don't know, dude, because Ayton is for real and Booker is for real. And they got a lot of shooters on this team. They got a lot of guys that have no fear, and they will just like work your ass off. And they have been doing that in both of the first 2 games. I mean, the first one, Lakers pretty much just got blown out because AD didn't like basically get off the plane. But even last night, AD had like 35 points, and they still took it to the wire. Yeah. So that is not a team to like just sniff at. I mean, it's going to be hard for them.
I do think that is the ultimate X factor, is just which AD is showing up. Like I've said it on here millions of times, a lot of issues I have with AD, particularly like some games where he just completely disappears. And like he cannot afford that in this Sun series. Like if he has 2 more games where he just disappears, it's done. They're not winning. They will not win. So he's got to bring it every night.
Now you mentioned, I wonder if that whole like the disappearing, I guess you wouldn't like you don't want it to happen. He's your star player, but it's like, is it because too like, hey, if I'm having an off day, I can still rely on LeBron to kind of pick up the slack?
He can't. The problem is he can't have an off day. He can't. Yeah. I mean, look, LeBron is great, but LeBron is old. He's older. He's getting more worn down. Like, you can't rely on just LeBron to win this. It's gonna be LeBron and AD both have to really ball out to be just young, hungry. Just Suns team full, like Roddy said, like they're full of Marlos, just young guys that don't give a fuck.
They don't
and
care.
aren't scared
Like,
of any
they're
of it.
too young to care about, like, oh, who's LeBron? Like, I don't care. Like, I'll just go right at his face and, like, try to dunk on him. Like,
Yeah.
so that is, like, the fearless element of the Suns. And LeBron, I mean, he is still, if let's just hypothetically say 100%, probably still the best player in basketball. But he is
Absolutely.
not 100%.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And he is coming back from a long sit down on I mean, the miles add up. This guy's been in like every playoffs deep for like the last 15 years. So AD, that's the thing. Like, you got to show me a little bit more, because we know the talent. You can do everything. You can score from everywhere. You're huge. You can rebound, block shots. He's a really good shot blocker when he's initiated and like caring about that. But also, he does have this thing, that unfortunately is following him around, of he will just get pushed out sometimes and he doesn't want it.
Yeah. I mean, it's like it's first round. It's pretty interesting. I'm still calling it 6 Lakers in 6. I'll agree with Justin too. Back when he said that Ayton is the key for the Suns. Yes, I know Booker is your star talent. You've got Chris Paul, but I think he's the catalyst for the team to actually make a push, because if he can get over that 20-point mark on a consistent basis, it's pretty much, can the Lakers stop him now?
Well, and the thing with Ayton too, like in this matchup particularly, it's like, all right, obviously the Lakers have AD. Then they went and got Drummond. They got Gasol. Like, yes, he's a little bit over the hill, but he adds that side. Like, they have all these big guys, and Ayton is just like eating them up. Like, Ayton is almost unstoppable. Like, when he wants to get down there, by the basket, get those offensive rebounds, he can get anything he wants. So that, you have to shut that down. Me personally, right now, looking at it, even though it's 1-1, I think this is going to 7. Like, I feel like it's going to 7, and then, when you get to one game, almost like flip a coin, because that could be the game that Booker has 60 points. Like, you don't know.
Yeah. I mean, and then one last note, going back to the Eastern Conference, not too much of a big talking point, but I mean, Sixers fans.
I knew you were going to bring this up.
Like, Sixers fans, especially I'm talking to you, Amanda. Get your fans together. What the fuck? Why are you throwing popcorn? Why are you throwing popcorn at Russell Westbrook? Leave that man alone. God.
The hardest working man in show business. The angriest player that I've ever seen.
Be lucky it was just popcorn. That's all I'm saying.
And not knives or battery acid or, God forbid, urine. I was like, Jesus, really?
Yeah. A Philly fan throwing popcorn at you, that's more a sign of affection, really. That's him saying good job.
Yes. Yeah. You are getting off easy.
Amanda, get your Philadelphia fans together. This shit is hot trash. Just like all the other Philadelphia teams. And fuck the Sixers. I'm out. Bye, guys.
There he goes.
See ya.
The loyal, here to play, allegedly, celebrity hotline.
Oh, loyal.
Oh, God.
Wow, that was a hot take. That was a fire hot take. I knew he was going to circle back. I knew he was going to circle back to the Sixers. I knew it was coming back there.
I'm surprised it took that long to do it.
I think he was just like biting his lip. Like, all right, but let me just talk shit about the Sixers.
He's like, this is my closer. I got to hold off. I got to save this big one.
Yeah. Right, let's move on to some lighter news now.
Oh, boy.
We have, now that there is peace. Man United, unfortunately, goes down to Villarreal, the Yellow Submarine. Shout out. I don't know what's going on in Manchester tonight, but I'm sure it's violent. Glazer out. Everyone out.
Ole out.
Take them all out. Ole out. Yes. Just hate to see it. Love to see it. But, also nice season for Villarreal. I did point out it's a little bit overblown that they come from a town of like 50,000 people, because I'm like, they've still been like one of the best like 6 teams in Spain for a long time. Like, they're they're not like
They are
broke.
very rich. They are very rich. Yes.
The money is there. So it's not just like, I don't know. Lake Isabella FC just won the Europa League. Like, we'll pump the brakes on that a little bit. But still, just always satisfying to see Man United fall on their face. And hopefully get a soccer take here from Justin at some point. But nice to be able to watch it. As you know, I work out of the home now. So I did catch most of this game.
Yeah, it was it was a pretty dull game. I mean, it was a thrilling round of PKs. Like,
The penalties were lit.
The penalties were amazing. Just everybody made every penalty. So they actually, I think it was 10 rounds where all the normal field players scored all. So then the goalies come up. Villarreal's goalie makes it. David De Gea does not make his. So that's how Villarreal wins. I will say, hey, look, shout out Unai Emery. This is his 4th Europa League title as a manager. First one outside of Sevilla, which brings me to the question, what would happen if Sevilla met an Unai Emery team in the final? Who wins?
I don't know. I think the stadium just collapses on itself.
It just blows up just somehow. But, again, the PKs were a ton of fun. I did see, Minnesota hanging around. Sorry, been a little bit distracted with the hockey going on. It was interesting. Like I'm never one to fault a goalie when they can't stop PKs because it's 100% a guessing game. Like they kick the ball so fast and it's so close. It's just purely like guess left, right, or center and hope you block it.
Players that good too. It's like they're gonna pick a side and you pretty much, like you said, just you better guess the right way because everyone's good enough to like just put it right there inside the post.
But there has been some debate, and I saw the stat. I think I texted it to you that David De Gea hasn't saved his last 26 penalties, and then the backup keeper for United, Dean Henderson, has saved like 8 out of his last 9. So again, it is purely guessing, but there is kind of the questioning of why did Ole not go to Dean Henderson there because he's at least the hotter goalie when it comes to penalties. But I mean, look, let's not kid. United maybe should have won this, in regulation. So you can't. I don't know. Again, I can't put it on De Gea at all. But just some questions that have come up.
I thought it's just as far as the game in general. I thought the first half was more entertaining, but a little bit of Man United sort of. The more we keep the ball, and sort of like outplay the Spanish style, like we have better players. I think they were, like 65, 68% possession. The first 10 minutes, they were definitely threatening. Like it was all down, like things in front of the goal area for Man United. But beyond that, I thought their whole plan was just like, look, we have the better players. We're just going to keep the ball. We're going to wear them out. And, Villarreal gets the first goal. Shout out to Cavani also, who looks grizzled as hell these days.
Yeah, he does. He does.
Man, that fool is looking like a dog. But always been a big Cavani fan. So he gets the goal to tie it up, and then it was just kind of like a slugfest. Like I texted Tyler, it's going to penalties. Like we're just like we can skip the rest. Like we know where it's going. Like fools are kicking each other, kicking the ball out of bounds. Like they're just trying to get to the penalties. All right, whatever. But as it ended up, it did become one of those ultimate penalty shootouts where the goalies get involved. And De Gea, look, I mean, he's a goalie. You're not going to – it wasn't like the worst penalty I've ever seen where you just like fart it right down the middle. Like it was placed a little bit, but it was saved. So, we're just
he didn't pull an Aguero from a couple weeks ago and try the Panenka, and the goalie just doesn't move, and so he kicks it really slowly right at him.
Just like a nudge.
Yeah.
At that point, it's basically a nudge. But
right. No, shout out Villarreal, though.
Yeah, no.
Yes,
I
definitely shout out Villarreal.
Very much enjoyed Villarreal getting that. And come for that ass next year. West Ham, we're going to be in Europa.
Villarreal's in the Champions League. Europa winner goes to Champions League.
They're going to drop.
Unless, of course, say if they finish third in the pool play, then they will drop down into Europa. So, yeah, could happen.
We're going to see you. We're going to see you.
Going to see you, Unai. Bring it. Bring it.
Actually, I don't want to see that fool in the Europa League because he will kick our ass.
Yeah,
he's a legend. He's a legend. Last thing before we get out of here. I know we're a little bit past time, but again, it's pretty much a free-for-all. New Era, the official hat sponsor of Major League Baseball, tried to really force this down everyone's throats yesterday with the local market hats. And get a load of these beauties. Wow. I mean, there's a lot going on there.
Who are the ad wizards who came up with this one?
Yeah. It's just like, if you're charging $40 for the hat, can you do better than clip art? Like, I mean, all right. Oh, Pittsburgh, look at that. It's got an I-beam, steel beam. Like, that's super clever. Like, God, wow. Who are the ad wizards that came up with that one? But yeah, then they're really big on the area codes. Kansas City
Pittsburgh
really
apparently doesn't have one.
Yeah. There's no area code in Pittsburgh also. So if you're trying to call someone there, just forget about it because you can't reach
Can't do it. Nope.
But Kansas City, and on their official team account, was quick to point out none of these are the area code where the actual team plays, and also 3 of them are in the other state. So
I like the pig on the back too. That bottom left hand, that's shitty great. Clip art pig.
It just seems like I hesitate to say even a money grab, but just like, because some people will wear gaudy, outrageous hats with a fit. Get a nice New Era hat. I've seen ridiculous ones out there. Keep the sticker on, of course. You have to. But these were just like universally blasted by everyone. Every fan of every single team was like, what? Like, why? Why is this happening?
It was blasted so bad that within a couple hours of them announcing this, they removed these caps from their website.
Yeah, taken down in shame. These hats are all being shipped to Haiti right now.
I'm not one to encourage online bullying, but in this case, online bullying worked.
Do what you have to do. Like, and there's a discretion involved. Just like, normally I wouldn't go in for this, but you guys are right. Have at it. Go for it.
Bro, the Super League lasted longer than these hats.
These hats lasted for all of maybe 2 hours. As far as I could tell. What I think
Chili's
is
logo
supposed to be Skyline Chili, but they couldn't even come up with a accurate patch for Skyline Chili, so they just put a chili pepper on what looks like a bowl of mac and cheese. The Buckeye. Oh, wow, that says it all. All right, never mind. It's totally true to form. I like the Toronto one, the poutine on the back as well.
Poutine, yes.
Just why? I mean, why?
Oh my God!
All the California teams got the California Bear. Most of them had a taco. The A's had a taco, which I saw A's fans were like,
those famous Oakland tacos. Yes.
Yeah, our signature Oakland tacos that everyone knows us for. Yes, I would definitely buy that hat and pay $50 for it. After shipping is involved. But it just seemed like very, very half-hearted. I mean, ill-advised. Ill-advised, but, take the L, move on, New Era. You guys aren't totally hurting. Send them to Haiti. There's people down there that could use hats.
That's true.
We just maybe forget about this unfortunate chapter in the New Era history in general.
Yeah, that was, yesterday when I saw that on Twitter, I saw New Era training, and I was thinking, like, okay, like, what is... my mind didn't go directly to the hat company, so I was like, New Era in what? What is this? And then I clicked and saw the hats, I was like, oh, yeah, this is...
oh, no.
This is a whiff. That's a
Oh,
swing and a
no.
miss for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, the guitar, I mean, like, I get it, Cleveland Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but it's just like the laziest possible way you can invoke that. Like, what does the
That's
guitar really say? Like, I'm still confused. Like, if you don't know, which most people don't, like, cool, as a guitar. Like, is that, how much do you pay for that? Like, okay.
yeah. Like I think that was like when I saw these, I was like, okay, did some like somebody like the head of production there like have a deadline, like, hey, I need a new hat idea by midnight, and he was like, just like went on to Microsoft Word, went to Clipboard, and was like, here we go, this is it. Okay, and I'll throw their area codes of the local teams, which they didn't even get, all right. They missed some area codes for some teams. Like,
I need
just
all of these by tonight, 1 a.m.
yeah.
Yes,
Like,
sir.
It's just so bad. Like, take 8 seconds, and you could probably think of a better idea than these hats.
God, I mean, what a I don't even know what the flying saucer indicates on the Atlanta Braves one. I mean, that's a reference that I don't even understand. But at least they were more generous with the area codes on that one, I guess. Yeah, it's just bad. It's just bad all around. I mean, every single one of these that I seen was really, really, really bad.
Yeah, and it is just funny that they had the gall to and actually, really, the sad thing is there probably is like a small contingent of people that'll be like, "Oh yeah, I'll buy that hat." I mean, if you like, I don't even know what to say to that. Actually,
That was my second thought last night. Like, who immediately saw it was like, "Oh, that's sick. I'm gonna buy one." And now
hell
it's
yeah.
like getting shipped to your house, and then New Era takes it off the website like 2 hours later, and like, how you can't like just wear it in public and just be like, I'm super on board for this. Like, everyone already clowned the hell out of you. But
Bro,
also, if it had
that's a
like,
collector's edition hat now.
actually, maybe, yes, all right, I get that. Kind of like the shoe people, it's a
Right?
rare drop. But if it was like one or two bad looking patches, you could like at least take it off and be like, no, it's just my regular fitted for my Phillies game. But there's like
Right.
9 patches on all these hats, so you can't even do that. Like, you just have to like throw it away and burn it, or just own it, I guess.
Yeah, just real bad decision by New Era there.
It's questionable when you consider the amount of money and time that goes into making these kind of decisions. It wasn't just like, hey, let's just do this tomorrow. I mean, maybe, as Tyler said, it was a last-minute thing. We got to pump something out, like some kind of exclusive. But even that, in this world, would be multiple weeks. It's not just like you have 5 minutes. Put everything that you know about one town on a hat at the same time. Like, I doubt it was that much slapped together.
Well, wait, to answer Nick's question, I saw you and Galvez, and I think was Thomas or Scravy on the thread last night commenting about the Padres hats, and you guys saying that, very accurately saying that these kind of look like something that like the dude on the streets in Tijuana would be trying to sell you. So
Yeah, it was
customers.
Thomas, Will, and Braden and myself, and it definitely looks like a bootleg for whatever team.
Yeah.
But I think the most egregious thing for the Padre fans here was, how come the Arizona hat has a burrito and ours has a taco that looks like a Taco Bell taco, like a clip art taco? Like, I've never heard of an Arizona burrito, but the California burrito, kind of everyone knows what that is, so at least give us the burrito. And so it was like a bear, a taco on the back for no reason. The whole thing is just a disaster. I mean, it's just a mess. Like, none of these came out good. That's all I can say. All of them are very shameful. Like I said, A's fans were pissed they had a taco on theirs. They were like, what the hell, tacos? Like, what does that have to do at all with Oakland?
Like, I totally get the taco for the LA one. I would totally get a burrito for San Diego one. I've always said that's the difference between the two with the Mexican food. LA, you go for tacos. San Diego, you go for burritos. But yeah, just
They didn't even put that
real.
much research into it, which that takes
No,
all
no,
of
they
what,
didn't.
2 minutes. Like even
If
if you
that.
don't, if you've never been to either place, I think you could figure out pretty quickly. Like, all right, we got to put a food on here. I don't know what's San Diego all about. Like, obviously burritos, California burrito. Just put the burrito on there. But no, they just slap on like the clip art taco, and I'm afraid to even look at the Dodger one. Like, I don't care to even see it.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the Dodger one either. I'm guessing it's not nearly as bad as the other because I didn't see anything about it on Twitter, so I have no idea.
I'm gonna assume like a Hollywood sign. Probably that same taco that was on the A's and Padres hats because
Sounds like it. Yeah.
obviously slapped together. I mean, if you really want to keep it real, maybe like a homeless guy with a shopping cart.
Just a line of cars in traffic.
Yeah, something to keep it authentic. New era,
Yeah.
do better.
Oh man.
Well, that's all I had on that, and I know we're way over time, so I do want to say shout out again to Nick for joining us, CEO. Not looking forward, but just anticipating going to the Loyal game, I guess. I don't know. Like, I don't know how I can put that in the most neutral term that I possibly can. But I hopefully we'll be there on Friday. Thank you, Tyler,
Saturday.
as well. Oh, yes, Saturday. Thank you, Tyler. Thank you all for joining us in the comments, hitting us up. A Wednesday now, for the next couple weeks, not necessarily would be like a light Wednesday. So kind of nice to have these playoff storylines and things going on. But thank you all. Thank you all, and we will get back with you on Friday. Tyler.
Yeah, just before we go, quick shout out to the Islanders knocking out the Penguins. Always appreciate that. Islanders, fighting with the spirits, the ghosts of Brian Troutier and Mike Bossy. So shout out to them. Also shout out to, looks like Minnesota is going to be evening this series up with Vegas, going to a Game 7. So shout out for that. But yes, thank you so much for tuning in. We will be back here on Friday, heading you into a holiday weekend. I completely forget it's a holiday weekend this weekend.
Same.
But lots of good stuff coming up. Thanks so much for tuning in. We love you. You know the drill. Keep the fire.
Keep the fire.